Hi, guys. This is your fearless teacher, Mrs. Kick. I wanted to check in with you about lesson 7 in math. Okay, so this is working with fractions of sets of numbers. For instance, things like what is 3/4 of 2 dozen cookies, that kind of stuff. So I wanted to just go over how to work these out with you to make sure you are completely understanding. All right, so I'm going to do a couple problems with you, and then I will um, I will have you guys um, let me know if you have any questions. I'm also going to give you an exit ticket that'll follow up after this video. Okay, all right, so here we go. Okay, so we're going to start with when you see a phrase like this: 1/3 of 18. 1/3 of 18 kids in the class were girls. Okay, something like this. So the first thing that I want you to do is think about the fact that when you're finding a fraction of something, you're actually splitting it or dividing it into equal parts. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how this could look in a tape diagram. So I started my tape diagram and I just drew the rectangle and the whole thing is 18. And because it's split into thirds, I would split my tape diagram up into thirds. And if you want to just figure out what 1/3 is of 18, you would take the number 18 and see that it's three divided into or split into three equal parts. So you would do 18 divided by 3. And if you think about what 18 divided by 3 is, that is 6. And so let's see if that would make sense. If 1/3 is 6, then if you filled a 6 in for all of those thirds, 6 plus 6 plus 6, or other words, 6 times 3 would equal 18. So this would make good sense. So now I want to show you that exact same problem, but thinking about it in a little bit different way, um, and still getting the same answer. I want you to think about the fact that every time you say of, you are really talking about the operation of multiplication. So when you see of, you could actually cross out the word of and put a multiplication sign in there. All right. So anytime you have a problem like 1/3 of a number or any fraction of a number, you can cross out the word of, put a multiplication sign, and then actually multiply. The thing about multiplying this problem is you have a fraction of 1/3. This is a whole number. In order to multiply a fraction and a whole number, you must turn the whole number into a fraction. The way you turn a whole number into a fraction is by putting it over 1. Okay, so 1/3 times 18 is the same thing as 1/3 times, let me do that, 18 over 1. 1 times 18 is 18. And 3 times 1 equals 3. And we know that every fraction is a division problem. So this is 18 divided by 3, which we know is 6. I want you to try this one with me. So get a piece of paper, copy this down, pause the video if you have to, and then I want you to follow along with me as I do this problem. We're actually going to solve it both ways. So this way over here, we're going to use a tape diagram. So I want you to think about the fact that your tape diagram represents the whole, which is 24. Okay. And this time it's cut up into fourths. So you must kind of split it into 4 even pieces. But this time you want to figure out how much 3/4 of 24 is. So first thing you have to do is take 24 and divide it into 4 equal parts. And we know that 24 divided by 4 is 6. So you'd put a 6 in each box. 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4 is 24. And then, in order to figure out what just 3/4 is, you would just look at how much 3 sixes is. So 3/4 of 24 is 3 sixes, which is 18. Another way to do that, using the strategy I used a minute ago, would be by multiplying. 3/4, turn the of into a multiplication sign, put the 24 or the whole number over 1, and then multiply. 4 times 1 is easy, that's 4. 3 times 24, I would probably have to do something like this off to the side. And I would get 72. And 72/4 we know is an improper fraction. So in order to make that a mixed number, we would do 72 divided by 4. And it would be 18. So there's those two ways of solving a fraction of any number, using multiplication or using a tape diagram. Okay, the last one I want to work on is on your problem set. It's lesson 7 problem set. So you're going to need to get those materials out. Lesson 7 problem set, number 2A. Get that ready and then we'll work on that together. Read that problem to yourself while I read it to you. There are 48 students going on a field trip. 1/4 are girls. How many boys are going on the trip? So there's total of 48 students going on the trip. That's the whole. And we know that they're being split into fourths. 1/4 are girls and the rest are boys. So boys are the 3/4. So we have to take our 48 and divide it into 4 equal parts to figure out how many girls are going and how many boys are going. Once we divide 48 by 4, that is going to give us how much 1/4 is of 48. So this 1/4 of 48 is 12. So every box is worth 12. And if you think about it, if you add up 12 4 times, that is indeed 48. So if you just consider that one of the fourths is girls, that's 12. And then you figure out that 12 times 3, 1, 2, 3, is the boys. You'll see that 36 of the kids going on the field trip are boys. So that means that 3/4 of 48 is 36. And 36 kids going on the field trip are boys. Okay, so you're going to do your exit ticket, your lesson 7 exit ticket on Seesaw, so I can check in to see how you're understanding this. If you still have questions after the video and after maybe re-listening to the video a couple times, please email me and then we'll set up a Google Meet so I can help you more. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.